everyone, this is Number 3567 back in the episode of Flower Summer. Hoo boy. Hoo 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 hoo. Hoo 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 hoo. Ooh. Ooh boy. Ooh boy. So let's get going, shall we? In the end, Takasaki doesn't join the choir club. Neriene Komikawa's haunting rendition of the Toto Polchera has made all the secret vulnerabilities of my soul just ache. It resonated with me so much that I almost certainly had joined the choir club myself had I heard it before turning into such a hopeless cynic. But yet, after hearing that, when Komikawa Senpai asked if she'd be joining the club at the end of our visit, it's not the kind of singing I'm aiming for. That's how Takasaki responded. Komikawa Senpai just smiled her gentle smile and nodded as though she expected Takasaki to answer as such. There's only one person's heart you really want to touch. That's what she said at the time. I don't know what she saw in Takasaki. I don't really understand singing. As I'm lying in bed, I hear the faint sound of singing drifting into the open window like the distant warble of birds. It's nice, somewhat sad though. It's like a lullaby. The sound whispers presently into my ears. I close my eyes and fall back to sleep, still adrift in my morning languor. At Sister Basquate's request, I tried to integrate Takasaki to the class, but the midterm examinations are upon us. Hey, Suo-chan, what does this mean? Hey, Ichigo, ask my question first. There's still enough break time left for both of you. Shirai smiles on the twins' barrage of questions. She's both a little put out, at the same time like she's really enjoying herself. Excuse me. Perhaps she likes having others rely on her. On the other hand, the president, who's best suited to helping people out with the studying and stuff, one at a time! Don't push! He's about as popular as a real president right now. You know the president and Shirahane are about the same terms in academic ability? It's like a flower on a lofty peak, somewhere just beyond reach, or rather, it seems as though she'll wilt at the softest of touches. Because Shirahane is so hard to approach, the only ones who go for her help are the Sasaki sisters. While over here, absolute value. Provide a number that is neither positive nor negative. Mayate is scribbling furiously and muttering to herself. Of course, there's no one else around. She's sticking with the self-study. Well, I suppose I'm in the same boat. Seeing all my classmates knuckling down, I don't really feel like I have a choice.
試験がダメだったら安息日が丸々補習になるって聞いちゃね。
I heard that if you fail a test, you have to give up all your Sundays for makeup classes. We also have Saturdays off, but since we had chapel all morning, it essentially works out to a half day. The only full day we have off is Sunday, the Sabbath.
絶対値とは何か私が知りたいわよ。
What actually is an absolute value? I'd really like to know. The threat of those precious days off being lost to supplementary classes is enough to make even me get serious. I approached Takasaki, who's glaring down at her textbook with narrowed eyes, and peered at the notes she's scribbling.
絶対値、今さらお前。
Absolute values? You're only learning about that now?
何？
What?
いや、仕事で忙しかったろうしな。
Nothing. I'm sure you were busy with work. Watching my Ante partner stumble at the very first step, I end up showing her a bit of sympathy. Takasaki is glaring daggers.
余裕そうね。
You seem confident. She mutters.
本の虫だからな。ご多分に漏れず、勉強はそこそこできる方だよ。このクラスじゃ3番手くらいだ。
Well, I'm a bookworm. We're usually pretty good at studying. I'm probably third best in the class.
3番手。
Third?
ああ、花火師白羽の次くらいだよ。数学をやってんのか。なら委員長に教えてもらえ。あいつ理数系が得意だからな。
Yeah, after Hanabishi and Shirahane, you're struggling with math? You should get the president to help you. She's really good at math and science. Her eyes take on a hint of fear at my proposal. She rubs at them and shakes her head slightly.
花火師さんは私に苦手意識を持っている。差し向かいで教えてもらえるわけがないわ。
Hanabishi-san doesn't like me. I can't ask her to teach me. Well, you act like a very non-social person that should probably take hints and probably actually try to talk to people. Then maybe you'd actually have someone to study with. In fact, if you tried working with her and Shirahane with what you did with me, you might be in a much better situation. Therefore, you'd probably be better off.
少しは相手が見えるようになったんだな。だが委員長は性善説の人だからな。頼めばうなずいてくれるだろうよ。
Oh, sounds like you're starting to get her. The press is a firm believer in the fundamental good in everyone, so if you ask her, I'm sure she'll say yes. Which, if you got to know her like I said, you would know that. But yet you don't talk to people. But yet I told you if you talk to them just at least a little, just as much as I do, you don't have to spend the whole day with them. Just need to just say hi and just have courtesy with them every once in a while. It's not too bad. You should try it sometime. In fact, the tea is real nice.
性善説?
The fundamental good in everyone? She gets hung up on the strangest things. Despite a bit of grumbling about her lack of understanding, I start to explain.
もう知っておっさんが人間の本性は基本的に善であるって決めたんだよ。儒教の中心概念。
There's this old dude called Minicus who decided that mankind is inherently good. A central concept in Confucianism. Well, I'm reading long words real well today.
へ
Oh.
えって興味ないのかよ。お前が聞いたんだろうが。もう一つ対になるのが性悪説。荀子が唱えた。人の性は悪なりってさ。こいつは。
You're the one who asked, but you don't sound particularly interested. Anyway, on the other hand, some people view the human race as fundamentally depraved. Zunshi said that the human nature was evil.
そう。私は荀子の方に一票だわ。
Yes, I agree with Zunshi. She butts in with her thoughts before I can finish my explanation. Well, I suppose I'm on his side too.
だから委員長に。
So you should go ask the president. I glance over in her direction. It looks like it'll be difficult to break through the wall of people surrounding her.
ま、独学で学んだ方が早そうか。
Actually, it might just be quicker to teach yourself.
ええ、だから邪魔しないで。
Yes, so don't bother me. She dismisses me and goes back to glaring down at her textbook.
面倒くさい空気を部屋に持ち込まなければ何も言わねえよ。
I won't, as long as you don't bring that attitude back to our room. I give her clear warning. But she comes back in the same maddening mood. Of course she does.
なあ。
Hey!
なあ、おい。
Hey, you!
何？
What?
今昼食中だぞ。教科書なんて無粋なものは持つな。
We're eating lunch. Can you not just stare at your textbook? The only time I get to choose my food in any real sense is lunchtime. I don't want boring things like schoolwork intruding on my fun time. Book? Book? That salad's not a book. And again, she's done it again. Erica's got a freaking spread, and the other one's there sitting there with basically rabbit food. Like nothing. This is why we had the tasting. This is why I dragged your freaking behind. You were supposed to get the point. You need to put something on them. You can't just stay thin like that. I mean, I know your agency probably wants you to stay, but you get what I mean. Get a dive to keep that up. It's not healthy. You gotta have at least a little protein to keep you going.
放っておいて。
Leave me alone.
お前はつまらない教科書を開いてつまらないサラダを食ってるんだからいいけどな。こっちは久しぶりの天ぷらなんだ。楽しみたいんだよ。
I'm sure it's fine for you eating your boring salad with your boring textbook for entertainment. I have delicious tempura and I want to enjoy it to its full. Fried in tempura batter and spread before me are shrimp, white fish, green beans, and a shrimp and onion fritter, as well as miso soup and pickled vegetables. There's also a glistening mound of white rice. It's a real feast. I don't want to be ruined by your gloomy attitude.
あなたはあなたで勝手に食べればいいでしょ。
You can eat however you want, can't you?
お前有名な言葉を知らないのか？何を食べるかじゃなく、誰と食べるかだ。陰気のやつと食べたら何食っても美味しくなくなるぜ。
Don't you know the famous saying? It's not about what you eat, it's who you eat it with. If you're stuck with a total gloomy guts, nothing's going to taste good. I throw this back at her and reach for the fish tempura first. I want to savor it without any condiments like salt or dipping sauce. The crispy coating, which is just the right thickness, crunches appealingly as I bite into it. A mouth-watering smell wafts up towards my nostrils. I savor the complementary texture of the batter, fried to perfection. The soft, flaky fish, the sweet taste of it is all its absolute bliss.
いや悪い。やっぱり何を食べるかが重要だ。
Sorry, turns out what you're eating is the most important.
美味しそうじゃない。
Looks good. She's eyeing up my tray of food enviously. With great reluctance, I pick up a shrimp, dip it in a little matcha salt, and hold it out to her. My day partner bites into it without a word nor any hesitation.
これ美味しいわね。
It is good. Although I'm used to it by now, I still feel a bit embarrassed about feeding her like this. There's something sensual about the movement of her crimson-stained lips when she eats.
しかもエビだしな。フランクフルトなら。いや、マッチョイズム的すぎるか。
And on top of that, it's a shrimp. I mean, if it were a Frankfurter... No, maybe that'd be too macho. The image makes me grin. Takasaki looks at me suspiciously, but goes ahead and gets out her notebook. quickly jots down her personal thoughts.
お気に召したようだな。なんだ、天ぷらも食ったことないのかよ。確かに油はスタイル維持の天敵かもしれないけどさ。
You seem to like that. Don't tell me you've never had tempura before. I suppose oil is the enemy when it comes to maintaining your figure.
あるわ。ただ、前に食べたものより美味しかったから加えたのよ。ん
I have, but I'm writing it down because it's better than stuff I had before. She stops writing and tilts her head, munching on a pickle to cleanse my palate. I ask her what's the matter.
今食べたものだけど、それって洋食?
Why'd you say it? Was that buttered shrimp? I'd known she was indifferent when it came to food, but this is such a ridiculous question that, for a moment, I just stared at her in amazement.
はあ? お前バカじゃねえの？洋食なわけないだろ。どうやったら勘違いできるんだよ。
Huh? Are you stupid? Of course it wasn't. How'd you figure that one?
そう、違うのね。
Guess I got it wrong.
当たり前だっての。洋食って和食に決まってるだろうがよ。
Obviously, buttered shrimp. It's clearly battered. Oh. I have a feeling that we're going to be having to help this poor lady a lot in the next few chapters. Poor sheltered girl. We're going to help you one step at a time. Oh boy.
勘違いだわ。私は洋食か聞いたの。
I misspoke. I meant to say battered.
もうやめろって。
Seriously, stop.
笑うのをやめて。
Stop laughing.
やめなさい。
Stop it. Takasagi's glaring at me, her face flushed with embarrassment. Now that I know why he always squints like that, I can pretty much brush it off.
勝手に笑ってなさい。
Fine, go ahead and laugh.
お前それは虎の子だぞ。
Oh, hey, I was saving that! A shrimp and onion fritter crunches satisfyingly between her teeth as she bites into it. And sound low is enough to get anyone drooling.
あまり桜エビは好きな味ではないわね。
I don't really like the taste of sakura or shrimp.
食い物の恨みは恐ろしいって言葉を知らないのか。
Hey man, haven't you heard the phrase, don't bite the hand that feeds you? Tasaki closes her notebook, spears one portion of the boiled egg quartered on her plate, and holds it out for me to eat. I guess she means to reciprocate.
食べさせるのはよくても、逆は。
I'm fine with feeding her, but the other way around is kinda averse to being doted upon. Moments like these, speed is key. Once you start overthinking it.
そう、卵は嫌いなの。
I see, so you don't like eggs. She abruptly pops it into her own mouth. She takes a sip of water, trying to calm my pulse, which is really racing for some reason.
あなたはテスト勉強はしなくていいの？
Shouldn't you study for the exam? I frown, bewildered by her question for a moment before she shoves the textbook at me.
聖書か。
Bible study, huh?
そう。5教科は得意のようだけど、こちらも堪能なのかしら。
Right, you seem well versed in the core subjects, but does the same go for this? Well, I'll answer that question next week for Erica. I'm getting the episode here. I hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you on the next one. See you then.